Hey everybody, if you're watching this on YouTube, this was a recording of a live Ustream broadcast on ustream.tv. If you'd like to join the live chat, go to ustream.tv and search for Inky Obsessions and click follow, and you should get notifications whenever I go live. So just to let everybody know, I'm having some minor technical difficulties. I don't know what the issue is, but the picture seems to be a little fuzzy. I've got it on high resolution. My window where I'm watching my camera software is crystal clear, but what I'm watching along with the live chat on Ustream is a little fuzzy. So I'm not sure if that'll fix itself if it's something on Ustream, but just so you know, that's what's going on. So you may not want to watch this if I even put it up on YouTube. So anyway, let's get going here. I just put these out. These were where we ended up last time, and I had some of that Duo Autumn Mystery from Daniel Smith and different colors in here. And these were the two that I did that didn't dry, that had all the inks, more inks than watercolors. Not a big fan of these. These don't, they're too dark. They don't look, they have interesting parts. I mean, they're pretty, but it's not something I would mount and put on my wall. Hey, Eileen, we're a little fuzzy and we can't figure out why. And here's this one, and it just wasn't a big fan of how these inks blended in here. They look cool when they were wet, and some bits look cool, like right in through here is really cool in person. Over in here is not bad, but not the greatest. And then these are two of the pieces of corrugate cardboard that I painted with metallic paint, and then put the patina acid stuff on here that makes it do this and age like if it was real copper instead of copper paint. Hey, Virginia. And this is the one I did with the silver and the darkening patina. I don't know if you'll be able to see this clear, but it looks better in person. This one, not a huge fan. It's kind of blah. But what I'm going to do is, I remembered, somebody brought my attention. I've refreshed about 6 times, Eileen, and it won't refresh for me. It won't change anything. I don't know what the heck. I don't know. And I've tried Safari and Chrome. It's, I can see it. It's just not my ideal, my optimum broadcasting clarity. But it's really strange because on my camera, I see it perfectly crystal clear. So I'm going to paint this. Somebody pointed out one of my old videos where I did this, that had the piece on it that I really liked, that I put on that 12 by 12 frame that I mounted a piece on, that went from like a purple to a turquoise and into like gold. I know I'm just a little fuzzy, right, Eileen? Oh well. So I apparently started with my Vivid Ultra Metallics as a base coat. So I'm going to do some of this real quick and set it aside and let it dry so I can get the acid, the copper paint and the acid on it. But this is what I did on that one. Good thing I had that old reference to go back to, because I couldn't figure out what the hell I did with it. But you know, you guys know most of the time I am totally winging it. I have no idea what I'm going to do next. And my memory's so bad I can't remember what I did once I did it anyway. Oh, that's no laughing matter. That's the truth. That's true. Let me get the stuff out of the way. Okay. This is, look, pretty Snapdragon. This is Snapdragon. This is a Color Art Ultra Metallic, Vivid Ultra Metallic. So this is colorart.com. It's Leslie Onstad's company, the same that makes the twinkling H2Os that are going into watercolor pans like this instead of the little round pots, and she's changing the formula so they re-wet and they're smoother like an artist grade watercolor. I don't know if you can see that, but you in person I can see the purple shimmer. There you go. You can see it a little bit, but the lights are kind of catching it. There's some purple, pinky hot pink shimmer in that hot purple paint. So let me, where the heck's all my brushes? I must have them over in the bin where I'm washing them out. So I'm going to do the similar thing here and just get this down as a base coat. Now, and how this is going to end up, I'm wasting a lot of paint because the stuff that's going in the recesses of the corrugate, that's going to be lost. That's going to be covered. But when this dries, I'm going to go back and put on the copper metallic paint and wipe, while it's wet, I'm going to wipe off the high points of the corrugate so the purple stands out and is exposed. Well, purple in this case, but there's going to be African jade, cashmere, and silver as I go down the line to kind of make it a variegated transition across this piece. But there's no other way to do it to get it in the cracks and to paint the high points. You can't just paint the high points. You can tried braying it on before. It's spotty. Not great. So we'll just slap some paint on here. Looks more blue on screen. It's bright purple here. If anybody knows what Snapdragon is, if you have a Twink or a Silk or the Ultra, you'll know what that color is. And she's a bright. I can't wait to get those watercolors. I just had some friends that just got back from Greece, Virginia. I don't know where all they went. I know they were in Mykonos. And I don't know. I can't remember. But they said it was lovely. Get this pulled down here. This is the same size as my under paper. So when I get on the edge here, I'm going off onto my mat, which I don't really want to do. So it got really chilly here this last few days. Feels good actually to me. But I think our summer days are gone. I don't think we'll see 80 again until sometime in the spring. I don't mind winter with it getting cold and the seasons changing. I just don't like when we set the clocks back and then it's going to be dark at 5 p.m. I'm not a fan of that. I go into hibernation mode and it's like, okay, I'm done after work. Get home, get out of my work clothes, put on something comfortable, and there I am. Not good. Drop below 90. Ugh. Yikes. I'm not sure I could live in a warmer climate than I already live in. Don't think that would go. Although I got to tell you, my hot flashes are getting better. Much better. But it's been almost 11 years since they started, so. Been a long 11 years, though, not being able to take anything for them. Especially having them as bad and as frequent as I did. Good Lord. Not pretty. I can tell you that. All right. Well, now I got too much paint out here, so I'm going to try to get one more half a streak in here. Don't want to waste a molecule of this paint. It is yum-alicious. All right, over here I got some light spots. I'll add this to that. Okie dokie. I'm not even going to worry about washing my brush out. Now I'm going to go to African Jade. I don't know if that'll come in. That's focused real clear right there. Whether you guys will see that or not on your side with it being so fuzzy today, I don't know. Oop. Get out of there. Okay. All right, African Jade. Here we go. This is a much lighter color than the Snapdragon. I've had the windows open for a few days now, getting all that nice fresh air in the house. I don't know how long that'll last, but I could take the rest of the year like this, and I know that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And we'll take what we get, right? This is kind of boring if you're on YouTube watching this. Speed forward. Save yourself the agony. Dave left this morning early for his last golf trip of the year. So I am officially a golf widow for a few days. Just going to go up this little bit here. And then I'm going to switch, I think, to cashmere. Last time I did it was silver, but they didn't have cashmere when I did that. So I'm going to switch up and go to cashmere, which is like a really pretty, it's not a rose gold, but it's kind of like maybe a champagne. Is that what I should call it? Oop, I should have shaken that one. That one separated a little bit more than the other one. Let's see if I can get this in here to show you how luscious that is. Yeah, me too, Joan. Nope, now here comes Mojo now, babes. Shoving her way out from underneath my desk to go greet him. And he'll go under the desk and go where she was. Then she'll be ticked off that he took her place. Ay, ay, ay. And they both try to cram themselves underneath my desk on one dog bed. And they're both, Mo's about 110 pounds and she's about 90. Not a good fit. All right. So I thought what I was going to do, do you guys watch Cece? Are you patrons of hers? Cece's Creations. She has done some really cool watercolor projects on her Patreon page, and I think one's going up on YouTube soon, where she does an abstract watercolor and then uses my stencil to erase some of the watercolor, and they are really cool looking. So I was watching another artist that I really like, and I forgot about some of the stuff people do. Hey, Kia! On with their abstract watercolors and things to get texture, like the, the saran wrap and that kind of stuff. Well, I remembered I bought this medical gauze, and I don't think I ever really used it, but I'm going to try to throw it in one today. I have a commission to do for one of these abstract Yupo things I've been doing, it, mounting it on the wood, crap. The wood, what's it called? Well, you know what I mean. The cradle block. That's what I'm trying to say. And she wants it in she calls them peacock colors. So you guys are going to have to get more of my colors. That's what I tried to do last time I was on, and I put the inks in it, but I didn't like the way they came out. So I'm not going to do that. That's these two. I showed some of you guys earlier. These are the ones that dried from the last time. This is the one that got so dark and then it kind of flattened out and you saw the shimmer of the turquoise ink. They're okay, but they're not whipping me up. So I'm going to do another one. I'm going to hit this with a heat gun so I can get the copper paint on it and then set it aside with the acid. Hey, Raven. Yes, Raven, you will get commercials because Ustream is free, but they do throw a commercial at you every so many minutes. I forget how often it is. But you can go out. Now, correct me, Eileen, if I'm wrong, because I never did this. But you can go download an app for your browser called Ad Blocker, AD Blocker. And that will block the commercials for you. But I think you have to do it on Chrome. I think it only works on Chrome. Is that right? Eileen, keep me honest. And for some reason, you're coming into a day where I'm having some technical difficulties. I don't know why my picture's blurry. It's perfectly crystal clear on my camera software. But I'm watching on a window like you're watching now. And it's fuzzy. And I don't know why. I've refreshed probably 8 times now. But some people are refreshing and then getting a clear picture. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Chrome and Firefox. So, yeah, you can try to go in, Raven, you can try to go in and either on Firefox or Chrome and download Ad Blocker. And that should do it. I got so ticked off all the YouTubes or Ustreams I used to watch. The ads used to drive me crazy, so I did the $3.99 a month, um, and I don't get any ads. This paint is so cool. You guys can see a little bit of what I'm seeing there. There you can see that purple showing up through that hot pink showing up through that dark purpley blue. Yes, hello, lover. Okay, heat gun. Got so much stuff in my way here. You refreshed and your blurry went away, Cat? Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on. I wish this corrugate that I got didn't have these seams in it, like every inch and a half. There's a seam that goes through it. I guess it's to strengthen it. I'd rather have just the lines, but it is what it is. This one's still cold. This cashmere is such a pretty color. It reminds me of that, my rose gold watercolor that I mix up. All right, good enough. Good enough. Now I'm going to get a kind of a scruffy brush that I'm not too worried about ruining. This one will work. Where you going, babe? How come every time I get up, you got to get up? Huh? Don't be such a nervous Nelly. I'm not going anywhere. Lay down. Yeah, this one's about had it. It's kind of falling apart already, but we'll see if it gets through this. So now, get a couple baby wipes on hand. So, how am I going to do this? Let's go this way. So, what I'm going to do is take this copper real metal paint. This is called Modern Masters Metal Effects Oxidizing Copper Paint, water-based. There we go. For once, my camera's focusing almost right away, and it's blurry on screen. Ay. What are you going to do? Okay, so now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to paint on here. Now that looks kind of crappy, I know, but what's going to happen here is, let me get one streak of this all painted. And I'm trying to make sure I get it down in the grooves. Right? And cover up all that pretty purple I just put down there because I have to. And now I'm going to take a baby wipe. Hey, CB. I'm going to take a baby wipe and lightly, trying to hit just the high points, wipe some of that purple back. So I'm basically wasting copper paint and purple paint. And I don't think there's any other way to do that. So now you see the copper down in between there? That will turn like that turquoisey green blue once I spray it with this acid to react this copper paint and make a patina. But it won't hurt the purple bits showing through on top. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go through a lot of baby wipes doing that, but that's the price of admission. So this says you're supposed to paint on one layer, let it dry, paint on a second layer, and while the second layer's on and wet, then spray the acid. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to march to my own drummer. Hey, Tam. I don't know if I'm working quick enough, but once I get this done, this streak here, I'm going to try to squirt some acid on there and let that start working while that's wet, which is going to be a little tricky. But I don't want to the more I do this, the more this purple on the top ridges is going to get covered up. And I don't know if I'll be able to reveal it again. Get more layers on it. If that makes sense. All right, so now what I'm going to do, while that's still wet, and how am I going to do this without killing myself? It is acid. Okay, I'm going to put it down here. It's the patina aging solution. I shouldn't call it acid. It might not. Is it acid? Should be used over metal and bronzing paint. Come out of have blue patina. Surface prep application. Warning. It doesn't show me ingredients. Contains. Yes, it is an acid and copper salts. So I'm going to spray. Oh crap, no, the sprayer's not working great. Seriously? Come on. You freaking kidding me. Why does this always happen? I may have to put this in a little bowl and brush it. The next layer. I'm going to get it in my watercolors. All right, let's assume there's enough of that on there. Hey, Z! How you doing? I'm making quite the mess. No, it's blurry and I can't figure it out. My camera, CB and Zandra, my camera window that I'm looking at is completely crystal clear. Some people have been able to refresh on their browsers and gotten a clearer picture. I've refreshed about 8 times and it's still blurry from what I'm seeing. I have no idea what it is. I have it on high resolution. I'm at a loss. I don't know why it's like that. I probably won't even put this on YouTube. I am recording it, but I might just let it sit on Ustream. If anybody wants to dig far enough, they can find it. Because I know that's frustrating to look at. I think it is focusing in on the paint trays. Well, let's see if I do this. I can't, I mean, it might be trying to focus there, but on my screen, it's crystal clear. I don't see that happening on the live camera feed, which is really very strange. Very strange. All right, I'm trying to get this all down here. And now I'm going to wipe the top edges off. Oh, it could be high. Well, I had it on the medium. Let me put it back. I had it on medium resolution. Let's try that again and see if it helps anybody. I just changed the resolution setting again. I'm going to refresh myself. Let's see what happens there. So now I'm back on, it's medium res. Let's let that catch up and you guys will have to let me know if there's any difference on what you're seeing. It's not where I'm seeing it. Hey, Tammy. Oh, for Pete's sakes. This is what I want to be doing. Juggling acid. Let's put a little bit of that in there. A little bit of that in here. Give me another throwaway brush that I don't care about. Babe, where are you going now? Honestly. So this is the acid that's going to turn that copper paint underneath. Oh, and you know what it's doing? It's covering up my lines again. It's taking off my turquoise. I got to wipe that back. Lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. That's picking up a lot of the copper. All right, let's keep carrying on, shall we? And see where we go. This may be not going to work out so good. I don't know. We'll give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? I have a piece of cardboard that's no good. That's not all that heartbreaking. This is over the Cashmere Ultra Paint. So top to bottom, I had Snapdragon, African Jade, and now Cashmere. And I put that down first. Then when I put the metal copper paint down, I'm wiping off, while it's still wet, I'm wiping off the high bits of the corrugate and letting the copper lay in the valleys, if that makes any sense, so that when this changes color with the acid on it, the high points are going to stay purple with that bluish copper stuff underneath. Remember I did the one piece that I framed recently. All right, let me put the lid on this. With that variegated corrugate strips down the side of that one, if you remember. That's what I'm trying to recreate that patina with those colors on it. So now when I'm putting it on them with the brush instead of the sprayer, I'm moving that copper paint around again, and it's coming back up on the high point. So I'm going to have to go back in and wipe some of that off and expose the cashmere again. Baby wipe, where are you? Hey, rabbit. All right, let's try to get that off of there. Okay, now I don't know if this is going to work like it did before or not, but we'll give it the old college try. It's starting to something happen over here. See that mucky green color mixed in the purple? That's what happens when the process starts with the acid. So let me find somewhere flat to put this sheet other than on the top of my head. All right, we'll put you there. See what happens. Maybe awesome, maybe not so much. Oh, geez, maybe not so much. All right, let me get some of this stuff out of my way. I'm going to go get rid of this acid before I knock it over. What are you crying about, little girl? You've had your dinner. You've been outside. There's nothing left for you to eat. There's nothing left. I don't know what you want. What could you possibly want? Huh? All right. Oh, I should have taken these brushes over. I'll stick them in this water and let those soak and get this out of my way. Patty, did you show your new clove and honey paints? No, I didn't. I'll show them to you. So, these are the 3 that I got this time. And I'm not as thrilled with these. Now, this Eclipse is pretty cool. That's, with this blurry camera, I don't know if you're going to see the gold shimmer in that earthy brown. That's called Eclipse. I like that. This middle one is the pink Nebula. The top piece there, you can see a little bit of shimmer in that. I think this is like your mermaid. Sandra, where at first you didn't see the shimmer until you got a little bit into the pan. And this one is called Blood Moon. That looks more orangey on camera, more of an orange red. It's more of a darker, almost like a burgundy red. But neither one of these, well, this one does, I guess, seem to be as shimmery as the first ones that I got the last time. And this one doesn't have shimmer in it. Not a huge fan of that color myself personally. But those are my new ones. And she's got a really cute little, it's like a mini, like a moo card that she put in there. It's just got a blob of paint on it. And the C&H logo down there for Cloves and Honey or information on the back. But it's hard plastic. Kind of cool, like a scraper. Kayla, hey! So, all right. What is this? 11 by 14. I probably shouldn't try these experiments with this gauze or the stencils in the one I'm commissioned to do, but maybe it'll turn out fabulous. Or not. We know how that story goes. It's all just sort of a crapshoot here. Where's my brush? This is the one I like. I always go to these. I got all these damn brushes. I go to the same brush all the time. Imagine that. So, let's see. Here's my big plop of rose gold. And, excuse me. I don't even know what colors I have in here anymore. Interesting. Oh, look on the palette. This did what it did in that earth tone. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, how it feathered in there and kind of broke apart. That was that P.H. Martin's liquid watercolor in Saddle. And that's the one that did it on that earth tone when it broke apart and feathered really cool. But I don't remember what I have in these little pots. That's Lunar Blue, I can tell that. That's two different purples, but I don't know which one. That's Juniper. All right. Okie dokie. Patty, can you zoom in a bit more? I can do that. Let me push this back. Let me see where I am with my camera. Move my window. Hello. Wow. It's getting a little crazy on me today. Okay. All right, let's get something down here and have something to work with. And what else do I want? I want to have, get all my metallics out here so I can decide what I want to do with that, if anything. This is Yupo, Zandra. I was commissioned to do a piece of this for one of my friends. She lives in Texas, and she wanted it done in my peacock colors that she calls them. And so I thought I'd try one with a little... Look at this thing focusing like that. That's trying to drive me batshit crazy. Not a far stretch anyway, so let's just get started and see what happens here. Maybe this just isn't my night to stream. It's still not focusing. Hello? Come on. Pull these in closer. Will that work? Where's my... I just put this palette of full size of my favorites together. And I have to learn where they are now. Come on, look at this. What the hell's happening? Come on. I have no idea what's happening tonight with this, guys. No earthly idea. Just try to get some lunar blue. This is lunar blue in here. It's just not going to cooperate, is it? Yep, I know. I don't know what to do about it. I'm at a loss. Yep. Do know. Do not know what to do about it. I've done everything that I know to do. I think something's going on with Ustream tonight. Well, this focusing right now, this is my camera. This bullshit right here. And there you go. Now it's clearly focused. I have no idea what that is about. I do not know. Okay, well, this is still wet. Ah! I just saw Gayla's comment. Yeah, anything to fuzz it up was gotta look better. Thank you. Good things I don't get my feelings hurt so easy. All right, I'm gonna get some of this. Hey, Glenda. Is this the stuff I want, or is it the other one that's stretchier? Oops. No, I think this is the one that I don't like. Oh, screw that. Take this little patch of gauze and try to work with this one. Watch, it'll dry on me before I get the damn thing on there. There's that. Unfold it and get it all messed up. I don't want it to be straight like a grid so much. And, all right. I don't know what that's going to do. Could totally muck it all up. It's possible. And if it does, we'll just have to live with it. But I'm going to put some more paint down on it to try to get it to stick a little bit. So this could either be really cool or don't ever do that again, Patty. I have a feeling I know which way it might go. Get some more of this gold on here. And let's put some of this more violet in there. And then I'm not going to let this, I'm not trying to glue it in there. I'm just wanting it to make contact so that it can dry in there. And then we'll pull that out and see what happens once it dries. Could be a mistake. Oftentimes they are, as we know. I forget which one is which. I think that's this one. Is that this one? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It won't hurt to mix two purples, I guess. And my lid. And there's Kathy. Hello, my dear. So I'm just slopping some paint in here. I need a paper towel. What happened to my paper towels? All right, I want to get some of my Lagoon that I made out of those creamer pigments. Get some of that in through this purple. I did say hi, Gayla. Or did somebody else say hi, dear, to Kathy? Oh, mercy. What am I doing? Greenish blue, marine blue. Let's put some of this marine blue in. That's a nice, pretty blue. Look how that purple just takes over that blue. Can you guys see what's happening? It's taking over. Staging a revolt. A coup. A watercolor coup. Get some of that darker in there. I don't think I said hi, dear, to Kathy either. Didn't I say hey, Kathy? You're all dears. Ay, ay, ay. Get more of that in there, and my rosy gold. Let's get another little swatch of this lunar blue up in here. Look how black that is when you first put it down, and then it settles into that turquoise and black peppery looking stuff on this Yupo. Let's go back to some dioxazine. Whoa, look at that, pushing that stuff everywhere. That's cool stuff right there. Let's see. I want more. This is my fellow turquoise, Daniel Smith. And then let me have some more, whatever this is. Now let me get some more Lagoon. And this conglomeration over here. I'm going to get that in that real dark little bit laying there. Oh, that's cool. What's happening up here with that purple taking over that lunar blue. All right, what else do I... You know what? I'm going to put another... Oh, hell, where'd that... I need to grab more. Hang on. I'm going to grab another little piece of this gauze and hit it over here in this real wet part so I have it in 2 spots. All right. Come on. This is really cool right through here. Really, really, really cool. Ah. Work with me. Work with me. All right, now I got to get this to lay down in there. Let me just add a little wet brush action. Maybe a wet brush with a little lunar blue on it through there. I wonder what that would do. And with some rose gold through there, maybe. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I never said I did, so... Who's not feeling well? I just saw somebody wasn't feeling well. It's that time of year. My mom has been sounding like Barry White this past week or so. She said she doesn't feel as bad as she sounds, and she did go to the doctor. I'm losing a lot of that darker color in there that I liked. Throw some of that back in. Get some more of this juniper blue. Juniper green. Juniper green. All right. Let me see if I can pick this up. Not causing too much of an uproar and try to show you what's happening in there. I can't turn it so much to show you the glistening metallics without dryer over there. All right, let me set this one in a safe zone. All right. Actually, that netting looks pretty cool in person on there. Where's my, let's see where the cardboard is. What the status of that is. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Oops, I'm thinking and tapping, Gayla. You know how that goes over. It's actually bandage stuff. It's this. Surgical sponges. That's what that is. It's just little pieces. That should turn out like we did with the stencils and watercolor in Maryland. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right, see. So now what I'm going to do, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of these. Oops. Actually, I'm going to take some of these little bits here that are left over from some of the ones that I mounted. And now that this is completely, it's been dry for weeks, right? I'm going to see if I can do a little CC magic. These are so cool looking. By Mateo Mateo. That is just yum-alicious. I know, right, Joan? I'm a rebel. Tapping, tapping, tapping. How about that? All right, let me. Oh, hell, where's all my stencils? You know what? I think they're still packed. Here to show you the state of affairs around here. I think they're still packed from July. Sweet Moses. Sweet Moses. I have this one. I don't know if that's a good one to show. Oh, hang on. You know what? I have some Joan stencils here. She sent me this one. Well, let's just see for shits and giggles if this is going to work. This is on Yupo and it's been dried for weeks now. I know, right? Remember the chewing gum thing? I don't chew gum. But you can't make them believe. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's working. Oh, hello, lover. Now it got kind of wet underneath of there, and I'm going to have to let that re-dry. See where it puddled up there? That's just the squidge coming off of my baby wipe. That ain't half bad, is it? Isn't that cool? All right, let me wipe the watercolor off of here. And let me pick another design. That one was awesome. Joan, I think you sent me this one too. Got my little Joan stash in here. I'm just using a baby wipe through a stencil. And that stuff's been dried for, I don't know, maybe a month. And it came right off. Very easy. I'm guessing on watercolor paper, you might need a little more elbow grease on it because of the texture and because how the watercolors sink into the cotton um, of the paper. I'm thinking. Let's try something organic like this. Get a clean baby wipe. And I'm going to try not to push as hard because this one's going to get under this little design here easier. So I'm going to try to do this in like just a couple passes. Ooh, look at that. Maybe just one pass. Two. Wow. It's that little piece on there from where I cut it off. What you doing, babe? Well, this stencil made me wipe off more of the stuff that was cool than less, which of course it did. But let's find something on watercolor paper and have a go. Now, Cece was using watercolor paper, but she was doing it at the same time she was doing the painting. It was dry, but it didn't sit for weeks. So let me try to find, do I have anything on watercolor paper that's dry anywhere? I seem to use a lot of Yupo. Oh, here. Ooh. Maybe just these, remember I did these one night, just playing around, mixing up colors. Let's see. I'll take this one again, because this one was a nicer, closer pattern for these, especially for these smaller ones. And let's see what happens. I don't know. Now, this is done a couple months ago. Some of these are really cool, though. Look how bright that orangey one is. And some of these have, I don't even know what shimmer that is. I think it's some, oh, it's African Jade. I remember what it is. Look at that crazy one. Let's see what happens. Shall we? We shall. Okay, and this is on watercolor paper. Hey, Mo, what you doing, baby boy? What's my baby boy doing? He had us kind of scared last night. He wasn't acting just right, and his mouth was watering, and he was kind of quiet. Not drooling, not like slobbery drool, but just like dripping water, like drops of water for a few hours. And he was acting like he didn't feel well, and you know he's got that whole thing going on in the background where he's over his estimated time with us as it is, and I was worried to death about him last night, but he seems to have bounced back. I guess he was just a little sick in his stomach or something. I'm not sure, but he scared the crap out of me. You don't go scaring Mommy, Mojo. No, don't scare your mama. Did you hear him lay down and just go, Yeah, this is taking a little more elbow grease and not coming up. And these may be more staining colors. But you know, staining colors, they really don't stain Yupo. You can wipe it back to white pretty much. There we go. That worked, but that kind of got kind of sloppy wet underneath. I think my touch is too heavy. Imagine that. Petite little flower that I am. Imagine that my hand is heavy on these. All right, let's try. When all else fails, go Picto. Oh, this one might be an easy one to do with the stripes. Would you guys believe I have some of my bags still packed that I haven't unpacked from Maryland, from the art weekend? That's the sad state of affairs that we have around here. It's been wacky nuts, crazy busy. Yeah, me too. About Mojo, yep. Let's just see what happens here. Yeah, that's just a little bit coming up off of there. And you saw on the Yupo, one swipe would have done it, right? Yours aren't unpacked either, Tam? Oh, good. Then I don't feel so bad. And that just kind of smeared it. Oops, where's the green one? That kind of smeared into the white. But the way Cece did hers, she's got such a good eye. It didn't go off the edge into white. It just faded into the background of the background that she had painted. So that was pretty cool. These are kind of pointy and stuff. I don't know if this is going to hose me up with this smaller little designs in there. I can't really scrub a dub too good. It's there. It's subtle. You can see it. It's working. This is the nicest one, I think. Pretty cool. All right. Oh, here's this one. That is kind of cool, veiny, like a branchy looking kind of a deal, though, where it's blurred out behind it. You can't hate it, right? I don't know. You just can't hate it. So I'm going to do, what am I going to do? I'm looking through the hole here at the other one drying over there, and that's a whole lot of purple going on, and not a whole lot of turquoisey, greeny colors, but I'm thinking peacock. All right, let me try throwing one more of that. What time is it? 6:40. I want to go till about 7:30. Let's get another one of these bad boys going. And this time, do I want to put the mesh down? I'm not going to put any mesh down until I see what this one does. Yeah. CC, hi CC, Patty, we just talked. Oh, hey CC! I was just playing around with your the use of the stencils pulling up watercolor, and I had these two strips where I mounted a piece that I cut my Yupo up and lifted out with a stencil that Joan had sent me. And lifted it. And on Yupo, this is a couple weeks old, this piece, but it took like one swipe on Yupo to wipe that out of there, where I had to, I tried it on some old watercolor paper and I had to really give it some elbow grease. And then this one, but it comes off the Yupo so easy. Yeah, your ears should have been burning. I was telling everybody, Cece, if you like, throw your link to your Patreon page and your YouTube channel out there. I was telling everybody about the cool stuff you have on for videos on there. All right, let me get a couple more of these colors. So I'm working on a commission piece. What did you use to wipe on you? A baby wipe. Yeah, I used a baby wipe. And it almost got too wet. Like it re-wet a lot of this paint. You can see in this little section here. Well, for some reason my video is blurry tonight, and I can't figure out why. It's crystal clear on my camera, but what you guys are seeing is a little blurry. But you can see in this area where some of the water droplets got underneath the pattern of the stencil. See that? Where it kind of pulled up? But I just let it dry back down, and it kind of held its shape. What did you use to wipe on Yupo? So, I'm going to throw another one down here. And let's see what happens. Oops, I'm out of frame again. What itches, Mo? You over there scratching like crazy. What's the matter, Momo? Oh, look, I got splats of my rose gold through my whole other palette over here. Oh, great. I don't know, rose gold on anything. How bad can that be? So this is the Peerless Liquid in Amethyst. And let's throw some Juniper Green in there with that. I think those two play together nicely. That makes such a cool color where they blend. Really. Oh, man. I wish you could see the true color of that. It's too blue on camera. You don't see the green in that, but it is my favorite turquoise color. And you know how I love my turquoise. That's my favorite, and it's this right here. It's Juniper Green, Doc Martens. I'm telling you, that's some good stuff right there. Good stuff. All right. Get some rosy gold in there. Let's put some lunar blue in with that rose gold. It usually does some really fabulous stuff when they play together nicely. Isn't that lunar blue fun, Cece? That you really see how that breaks apart on the Yupo. It really granulates, and you see that. What the hell is that? Oh, that's this. You really see the black separate like in It is. I made too much and I decided to make a big plop of it, and I had a petri dish and put it in there. Yes, I went a little rose gold fever. But look how this is breaking up on the Yupo already. See where the blue and the turquoise, the blue and the black, turquoise and black, I'll spit it out, are already separating there. I don't know if you, has it gotten any less blurry for you guys? Yeah, it's really cool because the watercolors sit up on top of that Yupo, and the pigments just keep moving. You guys can't see it so much. And I can't lift it and turn it to hit the light right while it's so wet, because then it'll just all run and pile up. But it's pretty fabulous. Get some dioxazine purple in here. This is one of those traveling colors. It's Daniel Smith. And it's a dark purple, but it just bosses these other colors around. Takes over. You're not the boss of me. We get some lagoon in there. Get a little streak of that going. Oh, I'm glad you like it, CC. I really like it. Xander, I have yours packaged up and it's on the way. Well, it's not on the way. It's sitting here for me to take it out tomorrow. And I take, I'm going to be at the, with my brother for a while tomorrow and Tuesday. But should be able to get to the post office, if not tomorrow, by Tuesday. For sure, so. Get some more rosy gold goodness in there. I hate to waste any of that. Oh, good. Okay, so what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's do some of this greenish blue. I think this is a Holbein color. Oh, look at that lagoon taking that over. Can you guys see that pushing that around? Let me try to pull you in another notch or two. Oh, I'm going to be really out of range of reaching this thing here soon. But it's doing some pretty cool stuff. Let's do a little bit more of that up here. I like the way it messes with that turquoise. These are so fun because you can't really screw it up. It always turns out looking okay. In most cases. I have screwed one or two up. Well, I should say I just don't like the results, right? Because inevitably the ones that I don't like, somebody's like, oh my god, that's gorgeous. If Jean was here, I'd splatter just for her. Look how dark these come out on this Yupo. Well, I am lathering it right out of the pan. Oh, did you guys see Anna Victoria's newest class on Skillshare? It's all about her brands, all brands, and all brands and types of watercolors that she uses and that she owns. It's a long one. It's almost 4 hours long. And this is Lunar Blue again. And we'll go in here and re-excite these pigments. Get them moving again. That's Anna Victoria Calderone is who I'm talking about. On Skillshare. Love her classes and her work. So cool. Get some more of that rose gold in with that lunar blue. You can see what it did, how it's settling over here. Looks really cool. Almost like hair, like follicles on this little white fringe that you guys can see there. Up close, it's really fine, fine threads. It doesn't look as bright as I want it. Let's go in here. Get this one. That's brighter. I'll take that one. There we go. Look at all this craziness happening in here when you do that. Get some of that purple / rose gold splotted on here. All right, now hopefully the other one will be dry enough for me to go over and play with. I was hoping, Cece, that I love what you did with my stamps. Yeah, she's got several classes on there. I love her. She's one of my favorites that's on there. And that quick, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I love what you did on the, where you used the pictograph stamps and did the embossing. If you guys subscribe to Cece's Patreon, you'll see that one. That one is awesome. I love that one so much, and that looked so cool. She used my stencils and my stamps on a watercolor that she did. They were glorious. Let me try to show you this. Come on, baby, focus for mama. That dark line, that's lunar blue that the gold pushed from both sides and squidged it up into this little channel and concentrated it again. So remember where it went kind of like gray blue? It pushed it back up there again. There, oops. Come on, focus for mama. Be nice. Well, I'd say, Cece, you can see some of these colors. It's weird because like all right in here, this is dry. Some of these pigments push out and get real thin on the Yupo, and they dry pretty quickly. But then you can see, let me see if I can get the light to show you. You have some like puddles that are still deep on there. So it's like half dry over here and still some wet puddles in the middle of all that dryness. But look up here where that one kind of branched out and got leggy with that amethyst going into the juniper. And look what's happening up here with those thready looking bits. I just love that. And I think that's a lot of lunar blue action that's doing that. Those real fine legs. But look at all this down in here. It's still wet, so I don't want to tip it too much. But that's all, you know, I didn't put it on like this. This is all the pigments still move on the Yupo after you put them down. And you put another one on that's a stronger pigment, and you can just wash it, push it back, which is exactly what happened there. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, it's really, I love that feathering look. It's really cool. So let me get this one out of harm's way, if there is such a place in my house. There we go. And let me bring this one back. I think I might be able to lift this now. This is the one I laid gauze in. The watercolors when they were wet. I laid some gauze in it, and then I put watercolors on top of it to push it down. But look at some of the feathering on this. Now I can tilt it and show you, let you see the gold mixed in with that. You can't hate it, people. Up in here. Some streakiness there. You can see that lagoon, that hot turquoise flash down there. And see, all that's dry, and I got one puddle here still wet. And over here. And up here, the very first thing I put on this piece of paper, that little bit is still wet there. I don't like how this ended up. It looks too contrived. I'm gonna need to do something with that. Let's do a little of this purple in here. Must be brave. And now let's put a little, I know this will make it move, this juniper green. Let's go along here and go along here a little bit. Try to blur that out. And maybe I won't take the stuff off now. Babe, hush. So, that looks kind of contrived too, doesn't it? Let's spray it a little bit, see what happens. And see what that did when it started to activate that turquoise, how it starts to crawl along that edge into that corner. That's what I like about Yupo. Do a little bit of that there. So wherever I don't like something that's too sharp, like right in here, I think this line down here is kind of sharp. I'm going to go back and re-wet it a little bit and let it reconsider where it wants to go. Let's see what's happening up in there now. And now, what else? Da-da-da-da-da. Rosie to the rescue. But while I'm, what time is it? 7:03. Got a little bit more time. But this over here seems pretty dry. And yet it's not, because look what came off of my finger from the mesh, where the mesh is still real wet. I wonder if I have to wait until it's dry, if it'll just leave a subtle... Well, you know how we figure that out, people? We just rip off the Band-Aid and see what's going to happen. That's what we do. Probably not the thing to do. Oh, that's pretty cool down there. But it's moving again already. But it does give me some texture. Like, see where the gold is? See, the gold's already blurred into just a blob. There's some little bit of a mesh up here that you can see in the patterning. So probably should have left it on till it was dry. So let's do this. If we're going to hose it up, let's hose it up. And see, if I really didn't like this, I could just wipe this back to white Yupo and I'd lose all that pigment, but that's what you can do with Yupo. You can almost always bring it back to white. Yeah, this one I'm going to let sit there until it dries. And I'm going to add a little piece in here and over here And maybe even up in here where I did that. Let's try to see if I can stretch this. Can tell I'm thinking too hard when I get that quiet. No good can come from that. Let's see. Put a little phthalo turquoise on my brush with some water just to get that to stick down a little bit, which is going to reactivate what's under there, which that's okay. All right, we'll see what happens with that. And then I said I was going to do another one, didn't I? That one's going to take forever to dry. Where the heck is my... Here it is. So that's kind of settling into some pattern over here. I can see some of that. This might be overdoing it. Imagine that. Have I ever overdone anything ever? Overdo's my middle name. I want it to be more squirreled up. I don't want it to be just an exact grid. Let's just do that. Will that work? Maybe, but it might need a little more pigment in there again. Can you smell it burning, Joan? Oops. Oops, stuck on my brush. Okay, stop it. You're going crazy. I don't like the way it's kind of, well, we'll see. Maybe I'll love it. All right, so here's some of that first area. It's drying up pretty quick, so some of it held its shapes in there. Come on, work with me, camera. Oh, sometimes you're a pain in mama's butt. All right, you can see it in there, right? Down here. I lost it where the gold was. There's just a couple little grid marks in the center. But that's okay. And you can't really heat this with a heat gun because the Yupo is plastic and it will warp the plastic. Ask me how I know that. Ask me how I know. I don't make this stuff up. So here's where we are with the cardboard I started out with. So this is still festering and deciding how it's going to end up. And you can see all the copper that's through there is where I missed hitting it with the acid. Let me see if I can find a good spot to show you kind of what it may look like. See that lighter turquoisey patina? That's what it's supposed to look like. But think that one piece that I made that time is going to be the one and only that came out that way. Here you can see where this is kind of what I was trying to do. So those joining later, if you remember that 12 by 12 cradle board that I put together with that turquoise and black and purple Yupo piece that I did, and I put the corrugate trim down both sides. Is that down here? Oh, it's here. Hang on. I see it. Here it is. So I was trying to remember how I did this corrugate. And somebody, I don't even remember who it was, but somebody told me where it was in one of my old videos. And then I went back and tried to reproduce it. But see this piece here? Oh, let me zoom out. Hang on. Hold the phone. There we go. That's a little better. So this piece here that I mounted on a cradled board, right? But look at this corrugate. See that copper sticking out there? And then the purple with the turquoise down in the grooves. And as it goes down, you see it change. And it's got a more subtle color there. And as you go down, you see it like gold, silver. So, and then this one is the same thing. I just put it on the opposite way when I mounted it. Or mounted it, rather. See that close up. And the color change and go the other way down here. So I mounted one with the purple up here and this with the purple down here. So it's kind of like a reverse gradient. But I was trying to do what I did to get this look. Easier, not as easy as said and done. So what I did, apparently, in an act of brilliance, I painted the corrugate with some vivid ultra metallics. And I painted it different colors as it went down. So that's what I did with this. This had Snapdragon all over it. This had African Jade. And this had Cashmere. And then I let that dry. And then I added the pure metal paint, the copper metal paint. And as I painted all over with copper, I came back with a baby wipe and tried to hit the high points and expose that purple. So the copper was only in the valleys, right? And the purple was on the hills. So I'd get that variegated stripe look. And you can see where I'm getting it here and there. But the damn spray on the acid wasn't working right. So a lot of this copper didn't get hit. And I may go back and spray that again. But it tells you to do the copper when it's wet. Add the acid when the paint's wet. And it's not going to be wet, but I'm going to try it anyway. But you can see some of the darker area, like in here where it looks kind of greeny. And here, that's still wet. That's still cooking. But I just saw an area that looked pretty much like I wanted it to look. I mean, it's not bad. You know, it would look kind of cool because you see the copper metallics through there. And that's still cooking. And this one has the African Jade. And you can see some of the shimmer in that. Well, you can see the copper shimmer for sure. But the green, I can see it here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that or not. On the high parts, that's African Jade sticking up there. That's kind of a good shot where you can see what it looks like. And then this is the Cashmere. See that turquoise down in that rosy goldish looking color? You can't hate that. Right? So that's what I was trying to do. So that I have some more of this when I go to mount the commission piece that I was asked to do by a friend of mine. I'm looking at the pieces sitting over here. You know, I wonder if I could use my heat gun just on a low setting and high away from my piece to get that to dry. I'm going to do it. So I'm running out of time, and I'm anxious to see how this one ends up. So we're just going to, it may be a sacrifice. Take one for the team, as it were. Oh, Jesus, I almost knocked all my water jugs over. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my heat gun down on low just to get some warm air moving around. I'm going to hold it up high. Heat gun, here we go. All right. Yeah, that's not hot. That's just pleasingly warm. Now, another thing I saw an artist do was to take a metallic spray paint and spray it over the mesh. No, it's not a heat. This is a paint stripper. This isn't a hair dryer, but I have it on a low setting, and I can hold it on my hand. It's really not hot. It's adjustable. If you're watching on YouTube, fast forward so you don't get bored to death. This is still a little blurry looking for you guys, isn't it? I don't know what the heck's wrong with it today. It must be YouTube, because everything here on my camera looks crystal clear. Crystal clear. Yeah, no, I know what you meant, Debbie, but it's my hair dryer's upstairs. I don't have one down here, and this is actually cooler than I can get my hair dryer. Oh, good, Rabbit, thanks. I love watching paint dry. Woohoo! Exciting. At least I'll try to give you a better shot at what I'm looking at here. Tell you what, that rose gold, you can't make it not even shine through the mesh. That stuff's awesome. This did leave some a good bit of texture in it, actually, even though the daggone camera wire. I'm trying to get a close up of that gold. So shiny you can't really see the pattern on the inside of it. There you go. You can see a little bit of crosshairs in there. All right, let me see where that gets me. I'm boring myself. It looks pretty dry. I'm going to wait and let it cool down so I can touch it and see if it still feels damp. Nope, I think that's dry. This one down here is a little cool. Thanks, Tammy. It's really handy, Debbie. It's a little heavier and bulkier than most of the crafty ones. This one was, I bought it Lowe's or Home Depot, and you can strip paint with this sucker. It gets up to 590 centigrade, 1100 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm using this, Dorothy, because I burn up about 3 of the Ranger heat guns and got tired of spending 25 bucks a crack, and I'm lasting a few months, so I thought, nope, we're going heavy duty. So that's why I got this one. And it is a heat gun. See, it even says it. But it does get hot enough that you can strip paint. So there's that. It's both. I might even use it as a hair dryer. Okay, here goes nothing. Let me bring you in for the big reveal. This is exciting, people. Hang on to your hat. All right, let's see what happens. Hello, lover. Look at you. Wait a minute. Come on. There we go. That's kind of cool. It's cooler up here where it's stringier looking. All right, see where it's not so tight? I'll know that next time to make it stringier. Groovy. Yeah, I like this up here better, where it's fringier. Let's try this one. Come on, focus, Mama. Work with me. Well, you guys can kind of see it, right? Oh, there we go. See that in the middle of the screen there, that gold area where it's kind of more open and loopy? It almost looks like a city map. It must be that good power you get in the UK, Dorothy, because 3 of mine, bluey. And I've heard other people say that too, and other people said, I just won't buy one anymore. Plus, back in the day when I was doing the Jody Old class, I took her class when we had Create up in New Jersey back in the day, where she was using a heat gun over layers of silks on, was it gesso board? Clay board, on clay board. Layers and layers of not gesso, silks. And then you put a heat gun to it and blistered it. Do I have a piece down here? I have one hanging in our bedroom that turned out really cool. I don't know where they might be anymore. But you blister the paint. My Ranger heat gun wouldn't even work in the class. It wouldn't get hot enough to do that. And some of the other craft heat guns were. So that kind of hacked me off too. So I just don't do those anymore. So that's not bad, huh? That's kind of cool. Now I don't know if I'd like it like this and mounted. I don't know. Here's this piece down here. Yeah, right, Debbie. That's what I was saying. It looked like a street map. A very crowded city. Right? So, note to self, I do like the little thinner stragglers. Like, I really like this area right in through here. right in this area. It's more pronounced, I guess. I don't hate it. Oh, look. Lovely watercolored gauze. So, I think that's all I'm going to start for today, guys, because I was going to try to go to 7:30, and it's right close to that time. Did the whole thing with stencils over it would be cool. Oh, like we did in your mermaid class, eh? Well, you know what? I did that before with alcohol inks on Yupo, and actually, did I have one of those out recently for some reason? I thought I did. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, Lord. Actually, I think this one was on Terra Skin that I'm talking about that I had out here. Yes, no, maybe. Here we go. I don't know how this got mixed up in this pile. But this is Terra Skin. I can tell by the feel of how it feels different. But remember, that's, oops, got it zoomed in. That's alcohol inks on Terra Skin. First I sprayed the Terra Skin, which is like Yupo. It's made out of rocks. It's flimsier. Like this is more like it won't. Hang on, I'm zoomed in too tight. Dang on it. It's limper, but it's strong. You have a hell of a time tearing this stuff. But it's non-porous like Yupo paper is. But what I did with this was I sprayed it with alcohol, and then I laid a stencil on it, and then I took the little dropper bottles of alcohol ink and put them in the holes of the stencil. Just randomly dotted colors. You can see how random it is. Some of this looks cool because it looks like raku. I have a raku collection of pottery, and those colors remind me of raku up there. Yeah. But anyway, and then you just put it aside and let it dry. So you know what? Just because I can, I'm going to take a smaller piece, and it's pretty quick for me to slam down some of these colors. And let me grab a stencil and just lay it on here and let it dry, and we'll look at it next time. All my stencils are still packed from the art weekend. Not all of them. Here's a couple. Oh no, that wouldn't be a good example to do. All right, hang on. Hold the phone, hold the phone. Where might I have put those? Here we go. Oh, I know which one I want to do. If I can find it. Oh, that would be cool too. Here we go. Oops. Oh, Lord. Stencils falling all over the place. I really need to get this stuff put away and unpacked. This is ridiculous. So since I kind of use mermaidy colors, I was thinking either to use this one or maybe the tails. Maybe I'll do the tails. I think I'll do the tails. Okay. All right, real quick. Really, really quick. Let me just get some paint slapped down here. Oops, am I zoomed in or out? Neither one. Kind of neutrally zoomed. And I'm just slapping this pretty quick because I want it to all be still wet, even if I have to mist it to keep it wet. That's what I'll do. Ooh, look at that purple pushing that marine blue out of the way. Or no, that was bluish, greenish blue. That's a Holbein color called greenish blue. Whoop, sorry, going the wrong way. Trying to bring you in so you can see all the action going on here. This is a smaller piece of paper so I can kind of get it in there. Let's do some marine blue. That's not very strong, is it? There we go. A little more muscle in there. Let's get some rose gold action going here. And let's get a little lagoon in here too. Since we got a mermaid thing going on. Little mermaid thing. Let's see. What was that other color? Well, let's just do more of this. This? What was that? No, I want juniper green. That's what I want. Telling you, if you guys get any of these Doc Martens, try a juniper green. If you like turquoise at all. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, you did get to use them, see? They are fabulous, aren't they? Alright, let's do a little more of this purple. If this turns out, Z, I'll send it to you. These splatters even keep moving on this. Wait a minute, that's a little weak there. What happened there? It's all taken over on me. Maybe a little dioxazine up here. It comes out almost black. Look at it pushing that pigment back there. That rose gold and pushing it into the blue. I don't know what this was at first there, but that's looking really cool. The way that's moving around. Let me get another little bit of what's this called? Lagoon. Lagoon. Put that in those wet spots right there. A little splash over here with the purple mixed in it. Can't hurt there. All right, what's that last lucky color going to be? Let's do a little bit of this marine blue. I think this is a Holbein color. Yep. All right. I'm going to put some more of that in there. Get that a little bit stronger. All right, now, is that, see, some of this is drying already. I'm just going to put a little high spritz up here. And now I'm going to lay this on here. And whatever happens, happens. But I'm going to try to pick the parts I like to be exposed in the bigger parts like that. That's freaking awesome what's happening right there. Oh, now I hate to cover it up. But if we must, we must. Oh, that's off the edge of that page over there for that one. I don't have to put it on straight. I can put it on crooked, right? Maybe I'll go this way to get that bigger tail. Oh, look how smart you are. Sometime you're smart. All right, it's done. Kaboom. Here it is. And it shall sit here and cook. But I'll show you up close. Look what's in that tail. All right, we'll see what happens with that. And let me go get the other piece. I even forget what it was. Oh, yeah, this one. Oh, yeah. Here's the other piece that I did to start off with. And it's still got some glossy spots on it. But look how this dried with that feathery. Come on. And look at that shine of that rose gold when it hits that light right. And that dark streak, that's lunar blue. It's separated and then it pushed, the gold pushed it back kind of together. And if it focuses, you could see the turquoise and the black separated but piled back up on each other. Or maybe it won't focus. What the hell? Here's that little leggy bits up here. Turn it so I don't knock my camera out of the socket. See what this lagoon does? It just kind of like floats on the surface and pushes stuff away. And here's another of those streaky fuzzy bits with some lunar blue over there. See, or lunar blue. See where that peppery looking stuff looks right there? That feathery, that's lunar blue. And what's going on down here? That's kind of interesting looking down there. Still a little puddle. All right. See how we get those organic shapes going in there? All right, let's go back and see if I can make this focus one more time. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. Oh, it started to. Come on. What the hell? That really ticks me off when he does that. Can you tell? Maybe if I put my finger in there. No. Ah, crap. It's not going to do it. But you get my gist, right? All right. I'm going to move this way and make room for this to finish drying. And I'm going to sign off. Go get ready to take care of my pups. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm anxious to see how this turns out. We shall see. Can't be too bad, right? All right, guys. Thanks for hanging. I appreciate it. And CC, let me know how you make out when you make your phone call tomorrow. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Let me go save and name my video. All right, stopping my recording. So bye, YouTube.